Cool. And we are live. Alright, sweet.
Are we gonna do a little intro? Or are we just live and that's the? Or
We're,
should we do it like
uh,
when they like start drafting or
I mean, we're
something?
live right now, so.
Yeah, I know, but I mean like, should we be like here commentators, Finn and I don't know if you have. What do you go by? Are you Jared or Altera?
I just go by Jared.
All right, Finn and Jared here to commentate League of Legends live to beautiful fans of UNF Esports Club.
Yep.
Here we have a fearless UNF versus the University of Miami scrimmage. We brought our best team forward, and I believe they brought their best team forward. I know there were some complications before the match. You want to talk about those at all? Do you know what the deal is with those?
Yeah, we had a slight change in lineup. They went from their original starting five, which consisted of a different jungler and mid laner. Looks like they have a backup mid lane and
Okay.
jungle in slightly lower rank. Looks like before they had what looked like, I believe, Emerald players in those ranks. Now they
Okay.
have they're both in gold 2 and gold 3 respectively.
Now, do you think this team is still going to be an even match for UNF's best?
I believe. Well, so they did match up earlier, about 2 weeks ago. UNF
Okay.
matched up against their team. I don't know if it was all the starters or if they did have the backups in, but unfortunately, UNF did walk away from that at 0-2. So
Okay.
hopefully, this week UNF is coming for revenge. They are going to be playing their best game. Okay, let's see. Hype that up. It's open draft. It should start here in a couple minutes. So we have UNF on the
Now,
red side today.
do you have anything you're excited to see here from either team today? I know you mentioned the Quinn one trick of Team Miami, and I know I'm excited to see some Quinn gameplay. I feel like it's a character we don't see all that often, but a character that has a lot of influence and impact, and really is quite strong right now, despite her I guess lower play rate. So, is there anything that you're looking forward to other than the Quinn,
I mean,
or
I am kind of expecting a pretty resounding Quinn ban coming up. I don't know if UNF is going to allow that through.
do you have the draft link, or are they going to send it in chat?
I have the draft link. It's up on stream. Would you like me to send it to you?
I would be overjoyed.
I got
Through
you.
the roof, even.
There we go.
Have you read have you read the Miami top laners hashtag, the digits after the name?
I have not. Is it Quinn? It is Quinn.
It is Quinn.
Yep.
It's a big deal to this guy. I would so love to see it. I'm sure we're not. I bet you're completely right that it's gonna get banned out, but it would be such a treat.
All right, and stream has started.
Oh, it
Or
just
I'm
now went
no,
live?
sorry. I mean draft.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Uh, so we have an early Oriana ban.
First ban coming in?
So also to note,
I know.
last time these two teams matched up, UNF was blue side both games. So this is their first time on red side against this University of Miami team.
I wonder who we're going to see last picking here for Team UNF. I know they usually try to let either their AC Amber Dragon or their support Oikawa pick. I know It's a little unorthodox, but I'm curious what would happen if they dared to let their top laner last pick around.
Yeah,
Um,
they
do you think we're going to be seeing him in the first three or the last two?
um I think it really depends on what they go and what UM does as their first pick, really.
Hmm.
I think it just depends on what kind of draft they're showing on how UNF will decide. I know they definitely value. Okay, yep, there's the Quinn ban.
It is going to be a first three, so that's probably going to be there for the rest of the game or the next two games
Yep, the rest of the
after this.
series. Yep, with an early
I think it's
Unar
really
ban.
interesting that they're getting the Kindred out fast. I guess I wonder if that means they're going to Miami is going to be going for a divier comp. I know Kindred's pretty good into just with her ultimate is pretty solid anti-dive. So I think the Leona too could be
I think they're showing a lot of
a character that's strong into a
respect.
divier comp.
Yeah, I think they're showing a lot of respect towards Team UNF here, banning out the kind of staples of the champ pools.
And I think the Misfortune ban is really interesting too. I know Amber Dragon, the ADC of UNF, really likes the Misfortune. I actually think it's her favorite pick. So I think because this is fearless, the Misfortune is more saving the pick for later for Team UNF. They don't want it to get sniped by Miami on the blue side. So
Okay.
I hope that
Okay, early
that kind of
Renekton
a
lock.
ban doesn't bite them. Wow. Okay.
Okay,
Very
first
interesting.
first pick Renekton. So I do think they're gonna be letting Nick, their top laner, pretty early in, pick his champion. I don't think they're gonna be giving him last pick. Let's see, what does UNF decide to do? Okay, they go for Nocturne. So Nocturne with the Orianna ban, very interesting. Okay, Nocturne Galio. So a lot of side lane pressure on this comp.
It's a little bit of a budgeted version of the Nocturne Oriana ult combo. It's a little slower pace, but I think it's still what Team UNF is trying to go for with this kind of pick.
Yeah, they still have the Jarvan
Right.
Orianna, assuming the Orianna does get through at some point.
Hmm.
So they do still have some kind of options. Okay, looks like they're going with the Renata next up.
I'm really excited to see this pick from Miami. Personally, I absolutely love Renata. I feel like she's a champion we don't see played super often, and I'm really hoping that Team Miami's support can bring out their A game with her. I absolutely love seeing Renata utilized to her fullest, and I feel like she's really good with a carry ADC. So I'm interested to see how the ADC plays this as well for Miami. I think it'll be an interesting bot lane without even seeing Team UNF's picks.
Yeah, this is definitely okay. So it's a very interesting draft order picking top support and jungle in the first three. And that is the early Rakan rotate. So it seems like they are going to be dropping Nick and Amber Dragon into the 4-5 picks. So to your earlier point, I do think. Sorry, it seems like there was a little commotion in the lobby chat. But I do think they're going to be dropping Amber Dragon to that fifth pick, that last.
I'm curious if we'll see a Xayah ban come in. I know that
So
I
actually,
don't think Amber Dragon is super fond of the Xayah.
no.
Go on,
So
sorry.
actually, hot off the press, it looks like the Rakan was a mispick. They will be picking Blitzcrank instead.
Oh, okay. That makes a bit more sense. I feel like I've definitely seen Oikawa on the Blitzcrank quite a bit more than I've seen him on the Rakan.
Yeah,
And
I
the
mean,
Swingman is also really interesting to me. I feel like that's a character we don't see a lot, and it's nice that they're giving him such respect, I guess.
so their ADC player actually plays a lot of Aphelios and Swain. So it
Okay.
seems like they're just kind of trying to target him out a little bit. And then I'm not too sure what their mid laner plays outside of Yasuo. So I'm not too sure what we can expect from the University of Miami side of things.
I think he mostly plays top laners. I think his second, like the mid laner that he's played the second most is Yone. So
Yeah, it looks like he
maybe
primarily played him top. He doesn't seem to he didn't seem to have a lot of games played in the mid lane recently.
what do you think the chances are that we'll see a sort of top lane character run in the mid lane anytime soon?
I mean, it's definitely
There's,
possible with this kind of lineup. But here we go. We should be finding out momentarily. They are on pick 4 for blue side. Okay, so it looks like a Cho'Gath mid pick into this Galio.
I feel like that's a really strong pick into the Galio. Obviously, Galio is quite good into AP characters over AD characters, and Cho'Gath is a bit of a you can either build him like a tank or an assassin. And I feel like if he's an assassin, the laning might be a bit of a struggle into the Galio. But I feel like both of them are just going to want to sit back and scale a little bit. And I feel like Cho'Gath scales a little bit better than Galio, but we'll just have to see how much presence the Galio has around the map. I know Jack Frost is quite good at the Galio. It's like I've asked him once and he said it's his favorite mid laner. If it's open, he picks it. That's probably why he picked it in the first three so ambitiously, so quickly, just
Yep.
because they left it open.
All right, and it looks like a Seraphine pick to round out UNF's comp. So it looks like a Seraphine Blitzcrank bot lane.
How do you feel about that? I know Seraphine has a lot of strength in her. I think it's her Q, where she shoots out a wave, and if the opponent is already slowed or the target is already slowed, it roots them. And I feel like Blitzcrank, I don't think has any slows in his kit. I don't know how well these two characters synergize together, and I'm not sure how well or how much Seraphine wants to get up close to her opponents. I think it's an interesting matchup. Do you think they were thinking of Seraphine when they picked the Blitzcrank?
I'm not too sure. It does. Their team is very magic damage heavy with the Galio, Blitzcrank, Kinnan, Seraphine.
Do you think that Mike Beeston is going to be able to strong arm on the AD front for his team? I think that this Cho'Gath might have been picked with the intent to go for an AP assassin type of thing, which normally that's how I see it done in the mid lane. Assuming this guy is in the mid lane, it could totally be Renekton in mid lane, but I think it's probably Cho mid. Normally, I see him run more AP heavy. Do you think we'll see him go tank heavy because of the 4 AP of Team UNF?
So I would I would think, given UNF's team just doesn't have too much to cut through that high health bar that Cho'Gath can get later into the game. They they have a lot of team fight ability with the Seraphine ult paired with like Galio, Nocturne, and Kinnan, but I just worry they might be lacking the damage necessary. So we have them picking endgame now, and then I'll swap everything over so we can watch it unfold.
Do you know which of the two schools made this lobby?
In in client,
Yeah, the custom lobby that we're
I
watching
believe
from.
Miami. Why?
It's interesting that they put it into like the tournament style draft pick ban instead of normally I see it in like blind pick because we already did the pick bans, but now we've got to go through it all again.
Yeah.
I think do you know if they've removed spectator delay yet? I know they talked about that in one of their PvE patches, but I don't know if it made it to the live game or not.
I do not know. Hopefully for tournament draft they have it disabled. That would be a nice benefit to using the mode.
It'd be super fantastic. What role do you normally play, Jared?
I play mid and top.
How do you feel about the Renekton and Kennen matchup? I feel like both
Uh,
of these characters are pretty solid, like anti-carry. Renekton more than Kennen, of course, but
so
yeah, how do
that
you feel about it?
matchup is Kinnan favored as long as he can keep the distance, but if Renekton is able to catch the Kinnan, it can end very poorly for him.
Mhm.
Uh, Unfortunately, Renekton does a lot of damage, and Kinnan has a very small health bar. But as long as Nick can find the distance, continue to poke, it should work out for him. Also, I don't. When you're in the tournament draft like screen, can you see the usernames for everyone or only for Team Miami?
You know, I can only see the usernames for Team Miami. That's really interesting. I hope we're able to see the whole map for both sides. I've never
It should be
I've
fine.
never had an issue where we have like a single team favored vision. So I doubt we would start having that issue now, but you never know. We'll find out in a moment. Maybe become casters for the University of Miami a little bit here for this next game. That would be a little silly.
It does seem like there's a spectator delay. Yeah. Yep.
Usually it's only 3 minutes. Not so bad. Could be worse for sure.
Did your client just like completely lock up?
What do you mean by lockup? Like my client is not moving. I think the spectator delay starts tick up.
Oh,
Yeah,
there
it
we
just
go.
started ticking.
It
Yeah.
probably waited for them to get into game.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that's normally how it goes. I feel like Team UNF has a really strong, probably even stronger than their opponents, team fight. I feel
Yeah.
like that's the one thing they really excel at with this comp that they've chosen is team fighting. Obviously, they have pretty strong side lanes with the Galio, um, but I feel like Renekton can match him pretty nicely. So, do you think we're going to be seeing a lot of like big contests on the objective and then like nothing else from Team UNF? Or how do you think they're going to be playing this game?
So it does seem like Team UNF has a bit more engage as well as chain CC. So if Oikawa is able to land any hooks, it should be a pretty guaranteed pick onto Team Miami, considering the Seraphine, Galio, Kennen follow up.
Hmm. Do you feel like Team Miami has a good enough anti-engage? I feel like they do have a strong amount of anti-engage with Renata, Zaya, and obviously Renekton and Cho'Gath are both pretty chunky characters, more difficult to engage on. I feel like they really understood what Team UNF was going for and tried to pick around it. The only thing that I'm a little curious about is the Lilia. I feel like she doesn't fit into their comp as much. Maybe they just needed AP and that was what their jungler could play. What do you think that the game plan of Team University of Miami is here, Jared?
Well, um, I would imagine the Xayah Renata are very safe picks. Xayah with her ultimate and Renata with hers to kind of keep them out of choke points. Um, but the Lilia Renekton, they don't seem to have a lot of engage. It doesn't seem like they have a very good way into the fight. Also, we
Do you think
are
that
up and running.
University of Miami was a little bit thinking too hard about countering whatever UNF was trying to do rather than doing something themselves? It feels less like they have like a complete game plan and more like they're reacting to their expectations of Team UNF's game plan.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they have one cohesive idea for their comp. They may be kind of pick and choosing, either trying to pick comfort or just trying to pick favorable matchups for each lane.
Do you think it'll pay off for them, or
I
do
think
you think we're at like? Go on, sorry.
so. I think it could pay off for them if they're able to get an early lead and build upon it. But unfortunately, with champions like Renekton, he falls off pretty hard as the game goes on. He
Hmm.
functions kind of more as just a body to hit as well as the Cho'Gath. So let's see if that front line is too much for Team UNF to deal with and allows that Xayah to just kind of stand in the back line and auto. Because she will have the Renata there to uh, bail her out. Are you still on the loading screen, by the way?
I am still on the loading screen. I think that it took them 50 seconds to actually get into the game. Oh,
Oh, interesting.
did you just get a download failed
I did.
pop up?
Okay, well,
That's interesting. I hit the reconnect button.
yep, I
I'll
did as
report how
well.
it goes if you're not faster than I am. We might miss the
There we go.
first few seconds of the game.
And we
Okay,
are
you're
in
in.
game.
Big situation. I'm
Huge
not in just yet.
situation.
And now I'm in for real. What does your timer say? What are you at?
Uh, 17, 18, 19.
Okay.
So, looks like Team UNF is going for an early invade. Does look like they were spotted on that invade.
I think with that
And
invade, they managed to get a little bit of vision in the tri-bush, but team at Miami just got vision deep in UNF's jungle. They'll know which side the jungler is starting on, and we'll be able to do a little something about that. They also have a war on their own, red buff, which Mike Beeston is sitting at right now. It looks like the junglers will be trading red buffs, but I think that Team Miami might be able to bully Mike Beeston out of the red jungle, or
uh oh, looks like
maybe the Lilia.
we may have a
Oh,
small interaction here. The Lilia starting the Raptors with Kinnan walking right past. Okay, let's see if he. Okay, so it looks like the Kinnan just walked by, trying to get the lane. So we'll be checking out how everything's going. Yep.
it
So
looks
it
like
looks
both junglers will just be
trading.
clearing their opponent's red sides. Yeah.
Yep, they will just be trading red sides for this first clear.
And Mike Beeston is a little bit faster than Mr. Superhero 5D.
Yeah, Nocturne does have a pretty fast clear. Oh, and Nick in the top lane gets his electrocute proc. Oh, we may have a kill in the bot lane. Barely survives. No
It looks
barrier
like a tower
burned as
dive is
well.
being set up.
Yeah, it does look like they're setting the dive. As soon as this wave comes to crash, the Zaya does still have barrier and flash. So,
She's so low, and the Seraphine does manage to take her down, but they do trade Oikawa for it. I think that's a favorable trade for Team UNF. Support
uh,
for ADC, Amber Dragon Jits to collect a little bit more XP. I think I might be a bit ahead of
you
you.
are a
Would
bit
you
ahead
like
of
count
me.
out your
Yep, yep.
seconds again? I'm sorry.
257, 258, 259, 3.
Okay, I'm at 304, 305,
307,
306. Am I okay?
308. Yeah, you're like a second behind.
Okay.
That
Okay.
works. Okay, so, yep. So Amber Dragon with the double kill. Mike Beeston with both assists. Getting a small early gold lead. Looks like we just have some light trading here across the
Yep.
lanes. Cho'Gath getting...
Almost nets a kill in mid lane.
Oh, yep. Blitzcrank unfortunately missing the hook there, but hopefully the pressure gives Jack Frost some breathing room.
Mike Beeston does get the bot scuttle. Lilia gets the top scuttle at exactly the same time. And she's already looking to step back onto his Raptors. Almost hits Jack Frost with the Lilia Q, but doesn't quite manage to finish it out. I think here we should just see... Have either of the junglers recalled? I feel like we should see
Uh,
a recall coming in soon from them,
we,
but I guess we're just going to go into another clear.
yeah, no recalls yet. Both of them sitting on right around 900 gold. Mike Beeston about 200 gold up, or about 150 gold up over the Lilia.
It's from the 2 assists he got in the bot lane.
Yep.
Just a little bit more impactful around the map than her.
Kennen with
Plays
the
out,
early
and it
looks
looks
like
like
okay. Well, Verilix there burning flash. Looks like Nick may get an early kill here if he can land it. Oh, and he gets it, and that is the early feat of warfare for Team UNF.
it looks like they've learned since the last time they've played against this team, or maybe they're just a little bit stronger on the red side than on the blue side.
Yeah, it could
Um,
also be the cohesion in the team building. The chemistry is now there. I know they
Absolutely.
have some new members with Oikawa and Nick. So it also looks like Nick didn't get a recall in after that kill, so he is stuck in lane.
He does still have teleport, so I think he'll probably just clear this wave and then TP back top.
Yep, looks
Now,
like he's going
it
for the
looks
recall.
like it looks like Team Miami is looking to set up for Drake right about now, and not far behind is the Blitzcrank of Team UNF. I think we're going to be seeing a Drake fight here pretty shortly,
Looks like
and
Team Miami may
currently,
be looking
go
for a
on.
hard engage. Yep, the Cho'Gath shows bot, and that's Amber Dragon hit by the handshake, and she is taken down. Looks like Cho'Gath gets the feast stack on her.
Immediately, Team Miami turns that into uh, engage on the dragon. It looks like UNF wants to fight it. They're a man down, but the ADC for Team Miami is still in lane, and the support for Team Miami goes down. Jack Frost comes in with the hero's entrance and really cleans up the fight. It wasn't looking good initially for Team UNF, but they just had the ultimate advantage, and Galio was just a little bit stronger than Cho'Gath that fight, I think.
Yeah, it does look like Cho'Gath did go for the early Bandleglass Mirror. So it looks like he's going for the Shirelia's build.
I feel like I see some of the Shirelia's build and some of the Rocket Belt build. Personally, I like the Rocket Belt build a little bit better. What do you think the do you think the Shirelia's build is a little bit more of a sustained fight sort of thing? Like if you want something that goes on
So
longer?
it actually gives them some help in that engage that I said they may struggle with earlier. Gives them that speed boost so they can get close the distance on Team UNF.
It's true, it is a more team-based thing. Mike Beeston does get seen on his wolves. Might see Lilia. Probably won't see Lilia look for anything here.
Oh, looks like Lilia is
Oh,
walking
never
up
mind.
into the red side jungle, and she's pulling his raptors as he walks over. Mike Beeston does have the level 6 advantage here, as well as Tiamat.
That being said, there is a Cho'Gath lurking nearby. I doubt anything will come from it, but
Yeah, looks... Well, now that Mike is level 6, he should be looking to ult into a fight. Okay, and yep, here it is.
he finds the
Looks...
Lilia. Hits the fear. Looks like it'll be followed up by a hook from Oikawa. Flashes for it. Hits it. And the jungler for Team Miami is down. It looks like Grubs will be going straight to Team UNF. There's 4 players from them on that Grub fight. I don't think there will be any sort of contest or retake from it, the University of Miami here.
No, it does not look like it. Surprisingly, even though they got the early double kill, looks like Team UNF's bot lane is falling a little behind. Could be Seraphine just falling off in damage a little bit compared to the ADC before she gets her items.
I think that the frequent roams from Oikawa is getting the rest of the team ahead, but Amber Dragon is really suffering for it. She's a very good player and is able to do pretty well, but
Oh, looks like
2v1ing is 2v1ing. It's really hard. She does
looks like we
almost
might
manage to
get a
squeak
kill
the
here.
kill out. Forces the barrier from Zaya, and in the end, both ADCs walk away incredibly low, but not dead.
Gives Amber Dragon time to clear the wave, get it pushed. It should crash into the tower. Looks like a full reset coming.
In the meantime, Mike Beeston ganked top lane, managed to wipe out Verilix, the top laner for the University of Miami. Just pushing UNF just a little bit further ahead, bit by bit. Now, at this point in the game, there's a very solid 2,000 gold lead in favor of Team UNF. They've gotten both of the first objectives. I feel like Team Miami scales just a little bit better than them. So it could be that Miami is playing for the late game, but if they get too far behind, I don't think they'll really be able to come back. And
No, I think
the question is, how far behind is too far behind?
yeah, and I think the team fight from Team UNF is quite strong. It looks like this Nocturne is already 1,400 gold up over the Lilia, with the rest of the lanes being pretty closely matched. 700 gold lead to the Kennen, 200 gold lead, 300 gold lead to the Cho'Gath. Almost tied for the ADCs, and about 100 gold lead for Oikawa. Seems like they just moved for a gank on Jack Frost that they decided against. So let's see what Nick does now that they're pathing up towards him.
It looks like he's just going to make a clean escape, take a short trade from the Renekton. Actually, almost
He commits
turns
the
it into
ultimate,
something.
yeah.
But
Yeah, it looks like if the Lilia wasn't there, he may have solo killed him once again.
I think that leaves Renekton in a pretty terrible spot, and it kind of sucks that Lily is not helping him push the wave. She is giving him the space that he needs to shove it himself, but it looks like he's freezing the wave instead. I feel like that's not a very great choice into a ranged character. I feel like ranged characters want to have the wave shoved towards their opponent's tower just so they can poke them so often and effortlessly without having to worry about the wave as much. And Kennen also has just pretty solid wave clear, able to clean up the wave faster than the Renekton can at least.
And
It's
that
not a
is the
very great wave
flash
trade
from
in
the
top lane
Lilia.
for the University of Miami.
It looks like Oikawa almost lands the hook to catch him out of position, but he has to use the flash to get away. So it looks like Team UNF will be getting the dragon here. I don't think Team Miami can really contest. Very close for the hook there.
For UNF. Once again, another ult onto the Lilia. She's just a little bit caught out, and the jungler for University of Miami is down. Nocturne takes the opportunity to go into her red side. It looks like Legendary Gamer 83 is considering contesting it, maybe just checking it out, seeing what's happening. But she can't really do anything. Waikawa does manage to hit a hook on the enemy ADC, doesn't really have a lot of
No,
follow-up, and
oh, it
the
looks like
Seraphine is making her
here
way
comes the
over.
Galio. Yep, looks like we have quite the team fight brewing here, and that is a perfect Seraphine ult. The Renata thought her ult would get her away, but unfortunately the Seraphine ult was able to be staggered and charm her close in. It's quite the fight. Looks like luckily for Team Miami, the wave did not crash in time for them to stop the Renata's back. She was able to get out. But they will get a couple plates here for that.
Nick almost nets a solo kill in the top lane, just barely. Verlix manages to get away, and it looks like Mr. Superhero 5D is pretty close. I don't know if anything is going to happen here. I feel like Nick is quite low and something could happen, but Lilia also looks uncertain. She wants to go, but she's waiting for her top laner maybe. Kennen just uses E, I think, as W.
Yeah, the
His
Kennen E
one
is on
mobility
cooldown.
ability.
Oh, and he flashed. Well, that is the Lil. Looks like he will be picked up and killed there. Killed,
A nice
solo
little
kill by the
bounty going to the
Lilia.
Lilia.
Yeah, solo kill by the Lilia. No assist for Renekton. Oh, it looks like
Nocturne
Michael
now
will
engaging on the
be.
Renekton.
Yeah, Michael will be defending that tower, and it looks like he should be able to catch him and get that kill. And he does flash there. Uh-oh, Cho'Gath also caught out. He pops the Shurelius as he runs away. Okay, and the full team for Team Miami is here, so they may need to disengage this. Or,
A really nice Kennen ult
yeah,
from Nick.
huge Kennen
Top
ult.
laner Team UNF.
Yep, huge Kennen ult turning the tides, as well as Jack Frost walking up, roaming up from the mid lane. Renata handshakes the Galio into the Nocturne, but is then stunned by the Kennen, and she seems like to be cleaned up. Yep, there's a double kill for the Kennen. Saya now just...
Team UNF just sweeps the fight, really showing, I feel, the strength of their comp. Even when the whole team isn't there, they're really able to just synergize with each other's characters so well. They just, like, CC into CC into CC, clean up. And Mike Beeston really is doing a good job as the solo AD character on their team. You'd never even know.
Yep. Huge gold difference, as well as objective difference. They've gotten up to a 5.5k gold lead with 2 towers, all 3 Void Grubs, both Drakes, and Rift Herald. It's looking to be a shutout from Team UNF here. We have the bot lanes roamed mid to contest the waves there.
Now, at this point of the game, I think both junglers are just getting ready for the next Drake. It's going to be in a couple of minutes from now, but we're in sort of a neutral state where we're just farming waves. Both teams are just farming waves and waiting for the Drake to spawn. Actually, 30 seconds from now.
Yep.
And Team Miami is set up on the Drake before Team UNF, just a little bit better. There is one ward which will catch the Lilia, so UNF knows that their opponents are there. But I wonder if the setup will be enough. I think Nocturne is probably just going to engage on the Lilia once again. Okay.
Alright, we have Renekton TPing in,
had
so we have a
down.
5v5 brewing. Kennen notes teleport, so he is walking to the fight. It looks like no flashes for the top laner and jungler of Team UNF. Oh, here's the Nocturnal onto the Renekton. And then a big Seraphine ult into
Fantastic
Galio.
Galio ult.
Yep. And the Renekton trying to clean up
Just
the backline just to be cleaned up himself. And Kennen Eaton feasted on by the Cho'Gath, but seems like they are going to be able to clean it up. Oikawa killing the
the
Xayah. Uh-oh. The
Cho'Gath with
dragon.
a triple kill.
Yeah, the
I
dragon
think at this
leashing them.
point you just want to put the Cho'Gath on the dragon. I think that Team Miami is actually going to take this Drake. Never mind.
No,
The Cho'Gath walks away. He doesn't feel like fighting it. I guess he's a little scared of the Galio coming in and contesting. Cho'Gath does not have his feast up, so I think that's probably the primary reason why he didn't go for the Drake. I still feel like they could have taken it on their own, though, especially since the Renata was almost back.
it is possible, but it was a very risky play with Team UNF still there, as well as teleport on that Galio. But looks like the Team Miami's going to start it right away. We have Kennen ulting in to get an early pick on the Lilia and Renata. Seems like Team Miami is going to have to give that dragon now.
It's unfortunate after the incredible plays that Cho'Gath was brewing the last bite that Team UNF still walks away with the Drake. I think the teams are a little bit closer in gold than they were at the start of the last fight, but it's just so far behind. 6,000 now about for Team UNF.
Looks like the
Kyle One
Cho'Gath
Fan
is
looking
moving.
on the cannon.
Yep, is looking for the solo, and it does look like he will find the solo kill. No, the Kennen was able to get enough distance and run. And Nocturne here, finding the Renata. His fear was cancelled though. She's going to be able to escape.
It does look like, because of the Cho'Gath's efforts, Team Miami will take the top turret. Nocturne, once again, engaging on the Lilia, does not actually manage to get her this time. Almost kills the Renata, just barely Galaxy squeaks away with his life.
They will be trading the flash from both the Renata and the Lilia to survive that play.
Otacon spawning very shortly on the bottom side of the map. Team UNF just dumped 2 of their big ults out, so I feel like this next fight could be in favor of Team Miami if they force it pretty soon. I don't know. I don't feel like they're on where they need to be on the map to force this next fight, but I feel like if they were to force a fight, they would actually have a chance this time around.
They may. They do have both the Galio and Kennen ultimates available, but the Lilia is on the wrong side of the map if Team UNF does decide to force this out Otacon.
I think that means that they're probably not going to contest the Otacon. I think that, well, I was going to say, I think that Team Miami might look for the top tier 2, but it looks like their Renekton is recalling. I don't know if they know what they want to do. I feel like they either need to contest this Otacon or take top tier 2, and they're not really sure what they want to do. Half the team wants to contest the Otacon. Maybe Lilia wants to go for top tier 2. It's a bit of a mess of communication, and Renata Glass is the one that pays for it, going down.
Yep, the Cho'Gath
Just
almost falling, but able to get away due to his Shurelias. Looks like he's just going to catch the mid-wave, push that out, while Team UNF secures the Otacon. Looks like this Renekton is going to try to contest by himself. The Xayah coming in a little bit delayed, and both of them will fall.
both players of Miami just force-feeding UNF as much as they can, maybe trying to buy time for the Lilia on top and the Cho'Gath in mid. The Cho'Gath does manage to take a turret and escape with his life.
Let's see if this Kennen decides to chase. Looks like he will not. Content for the wave.
Nocturne once again tearing through Lilia's red jungle. At this point, there's about a 20 CS gap between the two of them. and I am sure it has something to do with the Nocturne's frequent invades.
Yeah, this
Once again, ulting in onto the Lilia. Lilia R comes out, and Renata Glask is here to help her.
there
Nocturne
is the
forced to use
Nocturne
his
Flash.
flash to
Yeah,
escape with his life.
this Nocturne is right around 3k gold ahead of the Lilia, so he has a pretty sizable lead, in large part due to these successful team fights for him. He has both Shredbreaker and Experimental Exploit completed. Let's see, the Kennen applying some pressure on the mid lane. They do see their Renekton a bit overextended on that bot side. Let's see if they decide to contest.
Looks like Drake is coming up pretty soon. It looks like they wanted to sneak a pick on him just before the Drake spawns. In the end, they do not. Cho'Gath and Galio are both in top lane. Cho'Gath does have TP up where Galio does not, but Galio has his Curious Entrance, so it'll be a little bit later than TP. Obviously, he can cancel Cho'Gath's TP, but it looks like it's not on his mind. It's not keeping him in vision. The fight starts around the Drake. A Nocturne ult, Kennen ult comes out. We see Renata Glass ult come out. Tactile, hostile takeover.
And the Galio does cancel the Cho'Gath teleport, preventing him from joining in on that team fight down below. Is a pretty huge thing. The Cho'Gath can no longer aid in that fight for the dragon.
Now at this point, neither team has their ults ready, up and available, and I think Team UNF is just going to take the dragon once again. Lilia flashes over the wall in a last-ditch attempt to take it. She's just a little bit too late with it, and ends up donating a kill to Team UNF, who now has Hextech Soul and is running down the ADC of Team Miami.
And that is the Seraphine damage. Looks like she does have her full Seraph's Embrace and Blackfire Torch, so she is doing quite a bit of damage now.
I think at this point, Team UNF is just looking to take the Baron and end the game. Maybe reset into a Baron take, or maybe they're just starting it right now. The Seraphine is resetting, but the rest of the team looks kind of ready to go. And it looks like the University of Miami is aware of Team UNF's plans here. They know what they want to do, and they're ready to contest it. Now, Team UNF is down a few of their members, like walking out of spawn right now.
This Galio is
to
teleporting in.
pretty safely.
It looks like we are going to get a big engage here. We got all three big team fighting ultimates. Yeah, the team fight of this Team UNF is a bit too strong. And that will be Baron for Team UNF.
Exactly as you said. Exactly as you said with the chain CC, just absolutely rolling Team Miami. It feels like there's nothing they can do. Amber Dragon just hits the perfect Seraphine ult every single fight. But at this point, the game's been over for a little bit, but we're about to see the game truly be over.
Yeah, Team UNF should use this Baron to start pushing down and taking these Team Miami inhibitors. At this point, Jack Frost does have a completed Dark Seal on that Galio, as well as Leandri's and Bloodletter's Curse, shredding the small amount of magic resist they do have into this magic damage comp.
And it looks like to finish this game out, Team UNF will be doing a two-lane Baron push. Waikawa manages to get the Lilia out, doesn't have a ton. Suddenly follow-up shows up. A wonderful Nocturnal just explodes the Lilia. Renata Glass barely survived. 25 health.
It was
absolutely incredible how low she got.
Huge locket for the Renata there that did save her life. And Amber Dragon is teleporting right back into the fight with Death Cap, so I expect her damage to have increased quite a bit. This should be the beginning of the end.
I don't know if the University of Miami is quite aware that the game is ending. The Renekton is shoving tier 2 in the top lane right now.
The Xayah uses her
We
ultimate,
do see.
and she's cleaned up quite well. The Seraphine ult picks off the Lilia, and it looks like this is just going to be the end of the game here. Yep, with an ace for Team UNF, this will be GG and an end to game one.
That was a very well played game by Team UNF. I feel like they had a very dominant early game, which they were able to very smoothly snowball. This honestly just an amazing pick of characters from them. This team fights looked so good. I wonder if this game would have gone differently if Kyle One Fan Cho'Gath decided to go for tank instead of um the more assassin build that he was trying out. I wonder if Veralix had picked up a couple more magic res items, uh, if this game would have gone differently. I feel like it wouldn't have. I think Mike Beeston was incredibly dominant on the Nocturne that game. He played that super, super well, just getting his whole team ahead.
Yeah, that UNF team was playing perfectly in synergy with each other, chaining the CCs. All right, well, it looks like Team UNF will be getting blue side for this next match. I'm not too sure.
I think normally they alternate sides, so they'll go red, blue, red this series.
Okay, I wasn't too sure how they decided. I know sometimes
And
it's
now that
loser's choice.
Now that they're on the blue side, I wonder if we'll be seeing the misfortune pick come out from them. I don't think we'll be seeing it get banned on Team UNF this time, or from Team UNF this time. I wonder if we'll be seeing it get banned from or by at the University of Miami.
Yeah, there were quite a lot of big fights that game. Starting off the game with Amber Dragon getting that dive for the double kill, trading away Oikawa. But really, just consistently, it looked like the synergy for the team was there. Um, Playing with a lot of chemistry into this Miami team.
I think it's really interesting that they're still. I'm curious. Do you have the lobby on stream right now?
I do not. I was not able to get the
Well,
client to work for the stream.
I see. It's a little weird because it's like a little bit smaller. It's not full screened.
No, it just
Currently, we're
wouldn't
having
use
some.
the exe.
Oh, I see. Currently, we're having some issues with players getting an order. It's supposedly it's a lobby thing. I think once you get in the game, even if they're out of order, you can switch the
Yeah,
players' icons
you can move
around
it
to
around.
show that they're in order. But it's interesting that they're delaying it so intensely for this reason.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what is going on currently. They should probably be starting. I can't imagine they're going to have too much time between drafts.
Are we are?
Uh, yep,
big situation.
Indeed.
Oh, you're Altera, aren't you?
I am Ultera. All
I've
right.
grown to know you as Jared. Not a name I know.
The early Nunu ban, followed by Quinn and Oriana by Team Miami. So it looks like pretty similar bans coming out so far.
It's interesting that University of Miami is so scared of the Jack Frost Oriana. I feel like having it as your first ban in both games is really, really interesting, especially since I don't know how fond he is of that character. Obviously, she's a very strong character,
Uh,
but I wonder if it indicates what University of Miami is looking to play
she is a
in the mid
very
lane.
strong enabler for a lot of engaged champions. So Sejuani, Jarvan, things of that nature.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but those are both characters that Mike Beeston plays, yeah?
They are. Looks like yep, same band's coming out from University of Miami, and the Ari pick one. Very interesting.
I
So
know Jack Frost is super fond of the Ari pick as well. I think it's part of why I was so surprised they banned Oriana over Ari. I think, at least in the series that I've seen, he always chooses Ari as soon as he can. And we see Aphelios come out early from University of Miami, not looking to get it banned out this time. I wonder if we'll be seeing a response from Amber Dragon. Probably not. I think usually Team UNF relies on their ADC pretty soundly, so they let her get last couple of picks or pick within the last couple of chances she has to pick. Never mind,
that
completely,
once they see
completely.
the pick from it isn't quite as bad. So the early Silver Brom pick is not bad at all. So they decide to drop both Michael and Nick into the later part of this draft. So let's see. I would assume University of Miami should pick support here, but I'm not too sure with the way they've been drafting so far tonight. And it is Emilio pick. So we have the mid lane and bot lane for both teams selected so far, both electing to drop their jungle and top laners into the later stages of this draft.
I'm curious if we'll be seeing a tankier jungle for the University of Miami here. They don't really have any frontline chosen yet, and I feel like obviously they need it. I
Yeah, it does look like this is more of a pick comp coming out from UNF with the Ari Charm and Braum pickups. But I guess we will just see with their jungle and top lane. I would imagine they don't go for any large AoEs again due to the Milio, but I'm not too sure. Both Volibear and Nefiri getting banned, heavily respecting Michael in the jungle, picking banning two of his more popular picks. And then Poppy and Mordekaiser getting banned for UNF. So a lot of respect
I
towards that top laner.
don't think it's a mistake at all. I think that Michael is an extremely strong jungler, and I I don't think I've ever seen him play Volibear in scrims. I've heard him swear by that he will never be playing Volibear in scrims. He doesn't think it's a good character for team play, which is super fascinating to me
So
because I think he's quite good at it, but
He is. I believe he finds it more as a like solo queue kind of champ. So Gnar from Nick here. I do believe Michael plays both Pantheon and Wukong. I believe those matchups are not terrible. Oh, and switches to Trundle. That could be either or. I believe that is Michael on Trundle though. That way he can ult that Sejuani, stealing some of those tanky stats from that front line.
have you ever seen the Mike Beast and Trundle? Is that
On
a frequent
occasion,
occurrence?
I don't believe so. I have seen it in a couple of our in-house games for pugs, but I don't know if he's played it too much in scrims.
I don't think I've ever seen it in scrims. I obviously I haven't seen every scrim of Team UNF, but I think this will be exciting to watch. I know Trundle isn't really looked upon as an exciting character, but I think when he's in the jungle role, it forces him to fight a little bit more. And I think it's really interesting watching Trundle fight just because it's something you don't get to see as often. And I really pick coming in here to tie the team together for the University of Miami. Once again, not a very strong team fighting character, but very, very strong in lane. I am thinking that the top laner for University of Miami is just going to try and roll over Nick from UF or UNF and just win the game through just how far ahead she is. We'll see if she can manage to get far enough ahead to do that, but I feel like that's the one and only strategy that they can really look for with a top laner with a pick like Aurelia,
Yeah, I'm not too
especially
sure.
compared to the rest of her team.
I'm
Sorry,
not
Ron.
too sure their team comp will really be able to deal with that Trundle pick. They have a lot of very strong team fight here with the Gnar and Braum ultimates, as well as the Sivir AoE damage. Um, they once again picked a very comprehensive comp. The drafting for Team UNF has been very excellent thus far.
It's definitely a lot better than the last time I watched it. It's a real treat to see. I know after I don't think I saw their Monday scrim, but their last Thursday scrim, uh, I definitely thought that one of the things they could improve on was their draft, and they have really taken that to heart. I think they must have reviewed and gone over it quite thoroughly to be doing what they're doing now.
Yeah, not to mention the draft, but also the actual plays have been executed flawlessly. I think as long as Team UNF can avoid this Aphelios getting too far ahead, as well as the Irelia damage, they stand a very strong chance to put this game away.
Really curious if we'll see the Trundle playing for topside more this game. I know Team UNF, I think I've said it before, they really like to prioritize their bot side, but I feel like Severe Braum is a safe comp that we won't be seeing a ton of interactivity in that lane. Now, it could be that they wait for Aphelios to go on a sort of dive timer, but I really don't feel like we'll be seeing a lot happen in the bot lane this game unless someone makes some kind of crazy mistake. But I
I,
feel like Gnar is also a little bit more difficult to play around as a jungler. I don't really
um,
know where this Trundle is going to go.
I think it really just depends on the timing for that Meganar evolution. With Meganar, it is pretty easy to set up the gank due to the increased amount of stuns he has access to, but Irelia, hyper mobile champion, very strong early. So this Nar's gonna have to play safe and try to avoid her getting ahead. But I will actually be right back while they wrap this draft up in game and we get that spectator delay started.
I think last game, the jungler for Team UNF really put a lot of work in around the map, especially in bot lane, getting his ADC and support ahead really early with that two-man kill under tower. Um, However, Nick in the top lane was still able to be pretty self-sufficient. He matched the CS that are connected and eventually got a solo kill. So I do think that Team UNF has the ability to win their lanes on their own based off of that last game. And I'm excited to see how the Trundle impacts the map. Obviously, super strange character, a bit more thoughtless than we normally see. It takes a lot more effort to play because of that in an effective manner. Aurelia as well is more of a split push type character, which we don't see as much in competitive play. But
Alright, sorry
I
about that.
wonder, welcome back. No worries. 30 seconds away from getting put on the loading screen. I'm curious, once we get to that loading screen, whether we'll see either team try any cheeky invades. Obviously, we don't have any hook champs, but I have seen UNF try invade after invade,
Well, level
and
1 Braum
Braum
is
has a stun on his
very
Q.
strong, yeah. It and the team University of Miami does not have much level 1 to fight back with. I believe the Sejuani what does Sejuani typically start? Her E? Does she typically start that? If so, they may have a slight CC to return, but the Braum applying it to everyone, the RE doing AoE damage. It could definitely be an interesting level 1 fight. Oh, and it looks like we have our ADC, Amber Dragon, popping into chat here.
I think the game should be started for them, so it's interesting that she is in the chat. Now, Nar versus Aurelia. Who are you favoring here?
I am favoring the Irelia. She just does a lot of damage when she's able to close that gap between them. And given her Q, she's able to close it pretty easily. If Gnar is able to keep the distance, he can do quite a bit of damage. But that Irelia champion is just very dangerous. You can't ever relax around her.
I think Aurelia is maybe the strongest laning champion in the game. I think she has one losing matchup right now, and that is Warwick in lane. And it is not by a significant margin. If you check out her stats,
She's
at least.
definitely very strong. I
She
don't know how
she
great she
loses
is
games,
into.
but she doesn't lose lanes.
I'm not too sure how she is into champions like Riven or Fiora, though. Yeah, it seems like Riven is very strong in Tyrelia.
What do you look at to see your like statistics?
I looked at u.gg, but I also look at
Do you
LoL
look at all ranks or
Analytics,
Emerald Plus? Or
Emerald Plus.
where do you look? Hmm. Oh, we're getting into the part where we get into the game. This is big. This is very, very big. We get to see all the champion splash art. T1 Gnar. Skin just came out. It's a nice cop.
Very
And
nice.
we see
Crime
the
City
basic
Brawn.
Sejuani, basic Aphelios. Kinda lame that these two players don't have skins, but it's okay. I'm sure they're just barely scraping by with what they have.
It's true.
I
Team
think
UNF is all 5 skins.
very decked out, very posh team.
And we are in game. No crashes on this one, folks. Oh, and let me switch over to the stream. Luckily, the game did not start.
And we do see Team UNF invading in the top side jungle this time around. They will be looking to jump the Aurelia. I feel like this is a very safe position for the Aurelia. She shouldn't really get caught out, especially not if they take the route they just took.
It looks like
It looks like the team will just be looking to get deep vision, and in response, the University of Miami considered getting deep vision. They're pinging about deep vision, but they're not actually getting it. Emilio makes his way over, pops a ward close to Raptors, and both teams end up with vision in the other team's jungle.
looks like the Gnar did start his hop early to keep that distance from the Irelia. Let's reorganize this very quickly.
Now, this time around, Trundle is starting on the Sejuani's red buff, and Sejuani is starting on her blue buff. I don't think they know that there is a Trundle on Miami's side of the map. So this game will be super in favor of Mike Beeston in the jungle.
Yeah, if that
It's a
Sejuani,
really strong start.
if that Sejuani doesn't realize that she has her top lane taken, she could fall quite behind. The Victor did ward the Raptors, so he will know if Michael does walk down, but if he doesn't, he could just leave and leave the Sejuani quite behind. Let's see, he does walk down and start the Raptors, so they do find out a little bit too late. The Victor walking over, but looks like it might.
Aurelia is walking over too. It's gonna be a three-man on Mike Beeston in the jungle. It looks like he's gonna get away
Uh-oh.
scot-free, and maybe Jack Frost is the one to
Jack
suffer for it.
Frost
He does get
does get
stunned
picked
and
out. Yeah.
taken down by Aurelia.
Quite unlucky
And
there. The
now
Aurelia did pick the kill up, giving her the slight early lead.
Sejuani is now in the Trundle's red jungle after clearing her blue jungle, and the Trundle is clearing his blue.
So it looks like just
Both
a
junglers
swap
almost
from.
handshaking to split the map.
Yeah. The Aurelia gets an early back off, uses her teleport to return to lane. She has both a longsword and boots to give her the advantage over the Gnar.
Now, the wave is in a worse state for her, and she has a level disadvantage. So the Gnar, despite the items, is a little bit stronger than her.
Yeah, the Gnar is in Mega
Especially
currently.
after this early trade, this quick trade.
Looks like they may be trying to set up a dive towards the spot lane if the Sejuani decides to hang around, but she might be looking for the scuttle crab. Looks like both teams, both junglers grabbing opposite scuttles. And all the lanes just kind of content to stand back, farm, and poke each other a little bit here.
Now, Now the first Drake is spawning in 40 seconds. Uh, the University of Miami has a little bit better vision around the Drake, but their jungler is sort of suffering from connectivity issues. She's pinged her ping over 400 ms, which is a little unfortunate. Hopefully it doesn't keep up like that before the Drake.
Yeah, hopefully not. It does look like this area is getting a pretty favorable trade into that Gnar. Let's take a look top lane. Oh, he was able to dodge the stun. He should be fine here. I don't believe she's going to be able to go for a dive on him. Yep, she is just going to go for the recall here.
Now, at this point, Trundle has recalled and Sejuani has not, so he has a very significant advantage over her. At this point, I think he can just start the dragon and clear it on his own, and it would frankly be hard to contest him. His bot lane is recalling, so that's no longer the case.
Yeah, this Sejuani is on the wrong side of the map on vision. I'm kind of surprised that he didn't start the dragon here, given there is not much follow-up to be had. Seems like they are just going to put it off.
Six minutes into the game, the Sejuani still has not recalled. It's very unfavorable tempo, I think, but she is so far ahead of the Trundle in CS, and they just barely managed to not see each other. Trundle now will see her recalling in his jungle.
And
The
Gnar does
Sejuani
walk down.
passive, Fury of the North doing a lot of work for her there, honestly keeping her alive. Sejuani passive, of course, doesn't allow her to be slowed at the beginning of a combat.
Yeah, the Ari Jack Frost was also positioning upwards. They're ready if a fight were to have broken out.
Now we see Mike Beeston clearing down towards the Drake, whereas the Sejuani will have to be clearing up away from the Drake, just setting themselves, Team UNF's junglers setting himself up a little bit better than his opponent for the Drake. And here we see Sejuani forego the jungle in favor of getting vision around the Drake, which is a decision I kind of actually like. Her tempo is just in a terrible, terrible place right now, but
Yeah, she
you
will.
know, at least she'll know what the Trundle's up to a little bit better.
They do decide to commit to the dragon here. Let's see, will Team UNF rotate to contest, or will they give this first Drake up?
It looks like, despite being aware of what's going down on Drake, Team UNF is not moving to stop it. So they will be comfortably giving up this first Drake here. And there is about 1,000 gold lead for Team Miami at this point. Just split among their members.
Yep, looks like they are going to be positioning for Void Grubs here. Jack Frost using teleport to return to lane.
And it doesn't look like there will be any contest from the red team on these Void Grubs. If they even know that they're going down right now, there is no vision on the Grubs for Team Miami.
Yeah, they may have missed
And
it. It looks like this Trundle has not recalled since his original back, picking up that sheen. But I assume he's going to recall shortly after taking these grubs. He has piled up another 1,100 gold.
now at this point, the game does sort of resume to once more a neutral state. Not a crazy amount of map objectives to be taken. Biggest thing to look at is the plates on either side, and both teams do have full 5 tower platings on every single tower. I would love to see the jungler, especially the Sejuani for team at Miami, to hook up with this top laner and try to force some plates out. I feel like Irelia is a character that does really well into towers. And as I say this, a gank is coming in favor of Team UNF.
Huge
Sejuani
Gnar ult
arrives a
there.
little bit late,
Unfortunately, it looks like
soon enough
Michael
to
just wasn't quite
save the
on the
Irelia.
same page. But great fight from the top lane there, blowing the Aurelia's ult and flash, as well as Sejuani ult just to save her life. The Trundle does manage to hold on to the subjugate.
And now we see Sejuani in, frankly, not a very fortunate position. It doesn't look like Mike Beeston really wants to go in on her. She is a level up, and she has red buff. But now that Jack Frost is here, they're looking for an engage.
Oh,
The
and they do land
Sejuani
the charm.
passive doing so much for her. We see a flash from the Miami's jungler, and she does end up going down to the mid laner for Team UNF here. Both Trundle and Ara use their ultimates for this, but they should be back in time for the next Drake.
Yeah, we do have quite about 2 minutes beforehand, so more than enough time for those ultimates to kind of recharge. I am surprised the Trundle's still not backing. Probably just trying to clear the rest of that camp, keep that tempo up. But he is starting to fall behind on his items now that Sejuani did die and return to base.
Neither jungler will have flash up for the next Drake, which might lead to some sort of engage happening, especially with Team UNF's more pick comp. I think it's more favorable to trade flashes for Team UNF. Obviously, their jungler is a little less mobile than the Sejuani, but I still feel like it's in favor of Team UNF for the junglers to trade flashes.
Yeah, definitely favorable for that team UNF. A lot of point and click or a lot of skill shots for that team between the Ari charm, the Gnar ultimate, and the just general Trundle that you don't want to be within melee range of. Looks like this Gnar is going to fall solo kill to the Irelia though. Unfortunately, he did just try to fight her while she was fully stacked. Both her passive and Conquer. Like I said, very dangerous champion. Now she is up 2-0. Quite a sum of gold she's sitting on as well. But with these plates, she may be able to afford the Blade of the Rune King.
Now a fight is starting to happen in the bot lane around the Drake. Team UNF is together a little bit before Team Miami can get together, and they managed to squeeze a pick out from the Miami's support player. However, they do use 3 ults for it, which could be a bit of an overextension. They squeeze out Aphelios' barrier, and I don't know if he'll be joining the fight. He looks like he wants to, but it doesn't look like there's a fight to be had here.
Now that affiliate is definitely a bit too low, getting zoned out beforehand, especially blowing his barrier. He can't quite walk in without the risk of dying to a very dangerous Team UNF. Also, we do have Mike Beeston clearing Sejuani's blue side while she clears his. Seems like they are planning a dive on this bot side. And that...
Mike Beeston goes in, just clears him out under the tower.
Oh, but they do
I think
decide to
Ismilio
cross map
might be
for the
next.
Galio. Or for the Gnar, I'm sorry. But it looks like he should be able to get out here. And gets the kill
Gnar
on the
actually manages to
Irelia.
get a
Wow,
kill.
yeah. Quite a disastrous cross-map attempt here. He might even win this fight against the Sejuani if he decides to take it. But he does just recall instead.
During the cross map, Trundle was actually able to take the first turret for Team UNF.
Yeah, this game definitely swinging open for Team UNF with that large play, getting some gold spread out between the jungler and ADC, and then Gnar with the incredible survival there, picking up that kill.
Now, at this point, it does look like Verilix, the Aurelia top laner for Team Miami, is getting a little bit antsy about how slowly she's sort of getting her lead. And she's now getting ganked by the jungler of Team UNF. She just pulls her flash out, doesn't want to take any chip damage right before the Rift Herald, but I think getting her flash out for essentially nothing from Team UNF is a very favorable trade. Team Miami is in a position to contest the Rift Herald. They might be getting together a little bit slow. There's one more member for them available than for Team UNF, but they're just too slow to get to the Rift Herald, and it ends up being a bit of a waste of their time. Aurelia didn't even leave her lane.
Yeah, not yet another objective falls for that Team UNF. Unfortunately, Michael has fallen a bit behind when it comes to his jungle items. He does still have 4 camps to clear before he gets upgraded Smite, while the Sejuani has fully upgraded hers. Uh-oh, looks like this Gnar is in trouble. The Irelia fully stacked, autoing on top of him, but he does blow flash to escape.
I don't think he'll be able to stay in this lane. I think that Irelia can kill him under tower at this moment, so I think he really needs to find time to recall. I don't think he can clear the wave fast enough, so this will be top tier 1 going down to the Aurelia.
Yep, but
I
that
kind of wish
was
she would let it shoot the cannon a little bit more. Okay, I like that. Sorry, go
it was Aphelios Flash getting away from this team in the mid lane, jumping him. And let's see, where does Trundle decide to take this Rift Herald? He decides to crash it into the tier 2. Getting some pretty big damage down for him. Sejuani decides
going
to
down
get
on
the
both
flank.
sides of the map.
Sejuani with the flank. Braum is trying to build some distance between them, but they do both fall at the same time. They do have all 5 team members mid lane. Jack Frost still bot lane clearing waves. Let's see. The Drake up in 45 seconds. It looks like they may have gone a little bit too early. They won't have any ultimates for this Drake fight coming up.
Both teams are a little bit starved for ultimates. I don't know if we're going to be seeing the Gnar at this Drake fight that's coming up, so the only real ult in play will be Ariel. So we'll have to have our eyes on Jack Frost to see what he does this fight with that.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. The Gnar does have teleport ready, so he could participate in this fight if he so chooses. The Braum getting caught out a little bit, but the Sejuani may have just doomed herself. Okay, she is forced to blow flash there to get away. Trundle absorbs quite a bit of damage, but that Aphelios is pretty poked out. He may have to recall here. And Team UNF does just start the dragon.
I don't know if Team Miami can really contest this reasonably with their ADC so low, and especially with Severe coming right up.
The Sejuani does
Wow,
steal the
absolutely
dragon.
amazing steal from
Very
Sejuani.
unfortunate. The Gnar does teleport
Really,
in
it's
with
in.
Mega, but it may be too late. He is alone fighting this 4-man backline while the Irelia just cleans his up.
Severe barely manages to escape the Aurelia, and looks like all 3 members of Team UNF have the ability to survive this if they just keep walking back. This tier 1 is probably not going to last. And Jack Frost, so fat and greedy, almost gets a kill on the Melio. Or
Yeah,
really nice play from him to look
narrowly
for.
dodging the Sejuani ult there. Almost certainly spelling his doom if it would have landed. But it seems like after a very unfortunate dragon fight, they were able to pick that. Team Miami was able to pick that up. Team UNF will just be farming for the next couple minutes while they wait for the next objective, which will be Otacon here in about 15 seconds.
On the top side of the map, we already see Melio from Team Miami setting up vision around the objective. It looks like they want to go for it pretty soon. And it looks like Team UNF is aware of that. They already have 3 members available to defend the Otacon, with their ADC following shortly behind. The victor of Team Miami is not in a really great position right now. It looks like he might be getting caught out by Mike Beeston. Fortunately for him, his Sejuani comes in to save him, but now the Sejuani is not in a great position. Mike Beeston does go down to the Victor ult, and Emilio is able to do everything he can to save the Victor, and it works. Jack Frost goes for a cheeky tower dive, does not manage to succeed in it. In the meantime, Drom for Team UNF also goes down. Nick, the top laner, the Gnar, is very nearly cut down by Aphelios, just barely manages to survive. Amber Dragon's flash is forced out by Sejuani ult, and in the end, Team Miami walks away with 4 members alive, or actually all
All
5
five,
members
yep.
alive to UNF's 2 members, and they start the Otacon. Team UNF's members have managed to respawn in this time, but I don't think they'll be there. They'll be at Otacon in time to recontest or put a stop to it.
No, the
And it looks like
Aphelios
they know that
Irelia
too.
are going to be shredding that objective. Very high damage between them. And it seems like this Aphelios is getting very close to getting that Infinity Edge.
Now, at this point of the game, I would absolutely favor Team Miami. I don't often see, once the Otacon is taken, I feel like I don't often see any sort of reversal. Um, Obviously, Team UNF does have the, what are they called? The Triumphant Boots, the Feats of Strength. So there is a bit of a balance between the more permanent buffs given throughout the match. But we have 2 Drakes on the side of Miami, and I think their next Drake is going to be spawning very shortly. I'm a little worried for how Team UNF plans to win this. So far, the past couple of fights, we've seen Mike Beeston on the Trundle sort of aping in on the front line, not in a bad way, just in a very almost shocking way, and he just gets bursted down and isn't able to achieve, I think, what he's looking for.
It does seem like he will need a little bit of durability added on if he does wish to continue engaging as he was. And that does
Now we
looks like
see
Jack
Jack
Frost may
Frost
have been.
getting caught out. He barely manages to survive and almost turn it around on the Sejuani. The Sejuani barely manages to get out thanks to the efforts of Emilio. Irelia is in, manages to set up 2 kills beautifully for her team. Sejuani once again catches the Gnar. Legendary Gaming 83 on the Aphelios flashes in, does not manage to get a kill for his efforts, but this Drake is absolutely going to be the property of Team Miami.
Yeah, Team
At
Miami
this
will be
point,
picking
all
this up.
3 members of Team UNF retreating with their tails between their legs. The
Yep.
map state is also looking quite good for Team Miami, with 2 out of the 3 lanes pushed out and the top lane pushing out on its own at the moment. We will be
Unfortunately,
seeing Baron up in 1 minute.
to,
Sorry, go on.
no, I was just saying. Unfortunately, it does look like this game is starting to be pull away in favor of this Miami team. They are starting to secure a lot of objectives, and the gold lead is climbing. but it is definitely isn't all lost yet. As this UNF team gets more gold, they may be able to turn it around in fights with favorable engage.
And Emilio for Team Miami gets a little bit caught out. Jack Frost gets a great follow-up on the Trundles engage. And now Legendary Gaming 83 on the Aphelios is in a bit of trouble. He's getting jumped by almost the entire Team UNF. And now all of a sudden, Team UNF looks really nicely set up for the Baron in what, 5 seconds? I don't think that Team Miami is going to be able to contest this properly.
No, I don't think so. As well as
Aurelia
Sivir being able
doesn't
to
have
secure
TP
that
either.
shutdown on the Aphelios, getting a little bit of gold bonus there.
Oh, a wonderful charm hit on the Victor, followed up by a very fantastic pummel. Both members of Team Miami focus their efforts on the Braum, manages to wipe him out. Then the Sejuani gets a kill on the Ari, and then another kill on the Severe. The Victor is just absolutely tearing through Team UNF with those wide berth AoE attacks. Really amazing play from Kyle One Fan there. And also, honestly, Dexter Morgan, both of them played that 2v4 absolutely fantastically. And I think after witnessing that, there's just no way Team UNF can win this game. There is gotta be a tough blow on morale after that.
Yeah, after the 2v4 there, I don't see any paths to victory, unfortunately. Um, Seems like with the Baron, they'll begin sieging, taking this tier 2 top.
At this point, it's almost a 10k gold lead in favor of Team Miami. Uh, Maybe it really is a blue side curse for Team UNF. Honestly, maybe next game once they're on the red side, you'll see them turn around. I still have faith in them to make these last few minutes a tough fight for Miami, but I don't see UNF winning this game.
No, hopefully they will be able to go next and draft another team that gives this Miami team some real trouble. And the Irelia was able to pick up the Hull Breaker, so she is quite a threat to these side lane towers.
Taking yet another tier 2, especially with Baron buff. Uh, their Team Miami is now focusing their efforts a little bit more on the mid tier 2. Victor forced to use his ult in the top lane. Jack Frost escapes, but
Oh, jeez.
falls straight into the clutches of Sejuani of Team Miami.
Yeah, and Nick does get caught out while trying to walk up, and Aphelios does get the kill there, and then he flashes under the tier 3, killing Amber Dragon. A very unfortunate game that seems to be wrapping in its final conclusion. Uh, should be wrapping up pretty quickly here.
I do think that we will get to see the members of Team UNF respawn for a last hurrah here. I think Mike Beeston might be able to hold the single mid wave coming in off, but wow, I was absolutely incorrect.
Yeah, no, unfortunately there is a
Unfortunately,
lot of pressure there between the Irelia with Hullbreaker and the Aphelios Victor auto-attacking.
a very, very well played game there by Team Miami. I do think that Team UNF did have the opportunity to turn that game around. They had a couple of fights. I think they actually won. It wasn't just close fights. They won fights there. So I really appreciate seeing that from them. I feel like that wasn't something we saw the last time against in a losing position against this team. So it is market improvement. It makes me happy to see.
Yeah, I am interested to see how this game 3 will look. But
I
while we,
do think we'll see the teams switching sides again.
yeah, it may just
Sorry, go
be a
ahead while we wait.
blue side curse for Team UNF. But while we wait, I will once again be right back. I do need about a 30-second break.
Don't worry about it. Now, as this is a fearless draft, we've exhausted quite a few characters from the cast. Um, I know the top laner for UNF is very flexible, can play just about anything in that lane. I feel like the characters that we see Oikawa play are a little bit more scarce. I'm curious if we'll see him on an Enchanter support this game. Um, I think we'll either see something like a Nami or something like a Nautilus if it slips through the ban phase, which they have been banning his Leona every game. Very fearsome on that pick. I don't blame it at all. And I wonder if we're going to get to see the misfortune come in for game three here. Uh, it wasn't banned by either side this past game, and I kind of wonder how it would have gone if we had gotten to see the Amber Dragon misfortune, which she is so dearly fond of. I don't think last game the Aurelia had as much impact as I thought she would. Obviously, she was a monster, super difficult to deal with for Team UNF, but she didn't show up to very many fights, which it's an Aurelia, so you can expect as much. But I thought it'd be a little more frequent uh, in this more competitive team play. When she did show up, she was a very strong frontliner. It was really hard for Team UNF to find the damage to kill her, but she didn't do as much as I thought she would, which is kind of nice to see. And I think the Trundle pick from Mike Beeston was doing a lot of work early game. I think he just had a really fantastic start, but I don't know if he knows how to play the Trundle in fights, or maybe he was playing it perfectly, but he just Team Miami just maybe had a little bit too much damage for Team UNF to deal with at that point. And, it could be that Trundle is a spectacular pick from ahead and less so from behind. Um, if you are back, my dear
I
co-caster, I cannot
I
hear you.
am
I'm
back.
sorry.
I have returned. Um, looks like they are going into the next one, getting the lobby built up. Hopefully this draft will be starting soon.
Do you have anything you're expecting to see here out of either team? Obviously, we've been rolling with the same bands every game, so we're not going to be seeing any of those exciting characters. But it should give us a bit of insight into what we can expect the teams to play.
Yeah, I
Do you think it'll be something more comprehensive and team-like from Team Miami, or do you think we're going to see more comfort picks locked in?
I don't see them changing up the draft strategy, especially after it worked in game two. I am interested to see because it does look like the most of their players have gone through their largest comfort picks.
Hmm.
So I'm not too sure what this game three is going to look like, especially with those bans coming by. Looks like someone joined the lobby. I don't know if Team Miami has a substitute or if it was a random person.
I believe it's a substitute based off of how familiarly Galaxy is talking to him. Um, I know there was a remake necessary for the lobbies, but I don't know the reason for the remake. It could be that they were getting a new player in for Team Miami,
I believe the lobby just
and
bugged and closed out, and Michael decided to host it instead. They did swap it
I
over to
see.
blind pick instead of tournament draft, so that should go a little bit quicker. Looks like we are just waiting for that ADC player, legendary gamer, to join in.
So this may be a little out of left field. How do you feel about the new Arcana skin line, or not skin line, but the new skins added to the skin line? We've got Zillion, Karthus, and Aurora just dropped, and I'm curious about your opinions on them.
Let me take a look. Let's see. I typically really like the Arcana skins. They have very nice splash arts, but let's take a look at these. I am just waiting on it to load.
I think all three of these are characters I've put time into just a little bit. Karthus less so than the other two, but I am always happy to see additions to the Arcana skin line and new skins for characters I like, especially Aurora, who has only a couple of skins. I think they look pretty fantastic. I like the Karthus one. I feel like his mask and like what would you call that thing on his head? Whatever, his helmet is super unique looking compared to a lot of his other skins. I appreciate something that stands out like that.
Yeah, it is very different. Um, can definitely. I really like the Zillion one. Very. They're all very interesting. I like the color scheme as well as the just general theme. Two of our players. Looks like some connection issues from UM side of things. And it does look like we have a
Currently,
surprise replacement for Team UM.
currently, Team UM is still down a player. There is one empty slot, and uh, because all their other players had connection issues, I imagine they're scrambling to find a replacement for it right now.
Yeah, it
I don't know how long that'll take.
looks like they are going to be having two replacements that were not on the original OP.GG list. So they are going to be surprise appearances.
Do you think that I'm Mr. Bear is a random, or do you think that he is one of the new substitutes? He's
I
very high level. This is someone who's played the game a bit.
I do believe he is one of the substitutes.
Looks like we're about to find out. Get excited, get hyped. New multi-search just dropped. I know I am excited. I love looking at these. Nothing makes me grin ear to ear more than a new multi-search, especially when it's just I'm Mr. Bear and fading QQ. It does look like we have all our players ready, so I expect draft to be pretty short, pretty shortly. Draft to follow this pretty shortly.
Does seem like I Mr. Bear is going to be their replacement for ADC. Swapping out, they originally had an Emerald 4 ADC. They are swapping it to an Emerald 3, so pretty equivalent. And then, if everything is to be believed, the mid laner was Kyle One Fan, probably going to be Faden QQ. He is Silver 1, so quite a bit lower ranked than the original Gold 2 of Kyle One Fan.
of drama going down in the chat. I Mr. Bear seems to play mostly Lucian in the ADC role. He does play Twitch and Jhin, but Lucian seems to be his favorite. And you haven't seen a Nami pick come out, so I do think it's within the cards to see a wonderful Lucian Nami this game.
Yeah, I know
And I
Oikawa does
imagine,
also play
sorry, go on.
Nami, so they may try to steal it away, given that his main champions of Blitzcrank have been taken. He could take a Bard pick as well, but I do believe we may be seeing him on Nami.
I also expect to see Faden QQ on the Anivia. It seems to be like the only mid laner he plays. This guy is also a big ADC player, but I feel like Anivia is a very safe pick. It's something you can, once you've gotten your first back at least, it's something you can sit and chill with a little bit. Um, we do have it confirmed. Fading QQ is in the mid lane, and I'm Mr. Bears in the ADC role. You're completely correct with your assessment of the new players. Oh, oh, they're switching order. I was worried for a second there. I am not gonna lie.
Yeah, it seems like he was trying to switch order, but didn't know. Oh, I guess spectator was full. Um, they
It'll work out. Now, let's imagine we do see Lucian, Nami, and then Anivia in the mid lane. That's my prediction. I think Lucian, Nami, easy peasy, no brainer. Just run that bot lane. It's an easy thing to go, unless some complications happen. You never know.
Well, that is possible. I
And
do believe we may see the Lucian banned away, given that they were banning the Yunara every game, and we do have a new ADC. But
you know what?
let
That's completely fair. I wonder if they'll put more emphasis on the Twitch though, just because I know it's a annoying pick. It's a pick that can be more influential around the map than just in the bot lane.
well, it was Oriana ban one, Quinn ban one from UNF. UNF still on red side here.
Red draft.
So let's see now that they've returned to the red side if that blue side curse is broken. Volibear being the next ban from University of Miami. But I am interested to see this UNF ban. Okay, looks like Nunu next.
I am so curious for UNF's third ban. Personally, I would just ban the Anivia, make the mid laners suffer as much as possible, win the game through Jack Frost. I feel like that's the best way to go for these new set of players.
It's definitely possible. It's probably going to be that Anivia ban, but it could possibly be the Lucian ban, given that Mr. Bear, does seem to be quite proficient at ADC. They may not want him on that champion. Well, the moment of truth is here. Uh, Kindred ban from UM. Very heavy jungle bans. A lot of respect being shown to Mike Beeston here.
I was just thinking the same thing, and we do see at least a Twitch hover. Come on, Twitch ban. Prove me right, please.
That is the
Let's
Twitch ban.
go.
Looks like they do not want to see the Twitch in their game. But who does University of Miami decide to be one? Do they decide to take that Anivia early and give him the comfort pick, or do they risk dropping it to later rounds, giving him a counter pick?
I'm curious here if
And it will
the
be,
Twitch ban is because Amber Dragon is super comfortable and confident into the Lucian.
well,
I don't know.
will be
Oh, we see a
first picking to
Caitlyn.
Caitlyn, so
Interesting.
it will not be Lucian. And then Vagar
I'm super
Misfortune
surprised.
for UNF. Caitlyn on her comfort misfortune, as you mentioned prior to game one, was saved for this
Now,
final game.
I think that I'm going to call out something crazy, something you wouldn't normally expect. I think this Vagar is going top. Now, I've personally talked with Nick, the top laner for Team UNF, and I know he's been asking Mike Beeston to try out Vagar top. He's cooking up something nefarious, and I don't know if I've seen a lot of Vagar played by Jack Frost. So I think this is an outrageous, completely unexpected Vagar top pick, and I am all for it. I love seeing these more unique, more freaky picks. Um, and I would just love to be right about this. And we get to see Leona this game. She does manage to slip through the ban phase. I suppose playing Caitlyn, I Mr. Bear just feels a little bit more comfortable into her with his range. So they're willing to let it go through. And we do see the Anivia get picked up as well for Team UM.
So I
Now,
very interesting
sorry,
with
go
the
on.
Evelynn jungle here. They do drop support, kind of getting a little mismatched here, picking the ADC with jungle mid. I believe we could see a Jarvan pick here from Mike Beeston for jungle, giving just a little bit more CC for that misfortune ult between the Veigar cage and Leona stuns. But will Team UM pick up on the potential Jarvan here, or will they continue banning for other champions? That is the third ban actually sent his way with the Nefiri ban.
I'm curious if they'll manage to get the Jarvan, as you said, for their fourth and final ban towards Mike Beeston, which I have no doubt in my mind that they will be going for. It looks like Team UNF is just trying to ban out the easy CC picks for UM. They're very afraid of a CC into Caitlyn Trap combos, any sort of stun, any sort of root. And I think they are rightly so afraid of that. I think that is a ferocious thing to go against. It's not the best, especially the characters that they banned. And we do see
And a Kane
Kane
ban.
getting banned.
Very interesting.
So the Amumu slips through in
So
favor of Team UNF.
I actually believe that is an Amumu support. I do believe we're seeing a Veigar top Amumu support flex pick from Team UNF here. Um, Wait, they already
Where
have
do you think
Leona.
the Leona's
So
going? Do you
sorry,
think
sorry,
Leona's in the jungle?
no, sorry. I forgot they picked Leona. Bradley is known to play Amumu support, but Amumu
I definitely
also
get where you're
a
coming from
very
there.
big
Sorry, go
crowd control for that misfortune ult.
on. We see the Thresh come out for Team UM. Not a bad pick at all. A lot safer than what Team UNF was looking at, I think. And I think it's also a fantastic pick because Thresh is so chunky, so tanky, and Team UM is so in need of something frontline. And Mundo is perfect against, especially against a team with as much CC as UNF. I think Mundo is a great pick. And now we do see the Warwick coming in, so maybe that is a big arc mid. I really expected it to be put in the top lane. Um, Very CC heavy comp from Team UNF here. A lot of wide AoE, low key undodgeable CCs here. With the especially with the Amumu ult, Warwick Q, Leona ult, Veigar Cage. I feel like something is like intended to happen, and I feel like it's going to be difficult to make it happen. But we've seen UNF make it happen before, especially with the first game. They seem to be pretty adept with using CC after CC after CC. And I'm excited to see them try it this game. Honestly, I really hope I Mr. Bear is a good ADC. I really like seeing Caitlyn gameplay, especially as of late. And I don't really have high hopes for the Anivia player of Team UM. I'm sure they're fantastic, but I don't think they're more fantastic than Jack Frost. So I'm hoping we get to see a little bit of a counterbalance in the I Mr. Bear Caitlyn. I it'll be hard to be better than the Amber Dragon Misfortune, but I would love to see him try. Um, I'm also excited for the Leona into Thresh. I feel like this is something that really favors Caitlyn and Thresh a little bit more than Misfortune and Leona pre-level 6, and post-level 6 it'll be more in favor of Team UNF spot lane. Um, I've never seen Nick pull out the Warwick top. I don't know how good that is into Dr. Mundo. I'm actually checking right now.
It does have quite a bit
Um,
of percent health on his Q damage, so it should be able to shred through him early. Um, the only thing I'm not too sure about is going to be late game. Uh, they really only have the misfortune there to shred through that Dr. Mundo. But I guess the Amumu tears may help with the percent health damage.
I think that's a really excellent analysis. It looks like Mundo is not super favorable into Warwick. I pray for the Verilix, the top laner of Team Miami, but I think Nick's got this in the bag. I don't think Warwick is super complex when played in lane. You can do it for sure, especially into a Mundo. Now I'm wondering how much havoc this Evelyn is gonna wreak. Um, I think she's a character that struggles a lot in more competitive play when you can call out where she is, where a lot of people will be buying control wards a lot more often. Uh, I I love seeing Evelyn played. I feel like because she's so uncommon in just higher competitive play, that it makes it more interesting. And I also have a friend, a good friend, who likes playing her. And it's just an absolute treat every time I see him play it. I think that the comp from Team UNF is a lot more comfortable. It's very safe. And I think that Team will have to be trying a lot harder than Team UF to win this game. Um, I think they absolutely can win, but I think my bet is in favor of Team UNF this game, and I'm curious how you feel about this, Jared.
So I do believe Team UNF has the comp that's just a little bit easier to execute here. Given that really as long as they get a couple big CCs, which isn't too hard when you have Vagar, Leona, and Mumu, that Misfortune only has to press R and it can seriously turn the tide of a fight. That ability does a lot of damage, especially when you're just stuck in it.
Now it looks like we are once again getting into the loading screen. A delay has caught up, and we will be witnessing the game very, very shortly. What do you think was UNF's big downfall the last game? Do you think it really all attributed to that one fight that went poorly for them, or was it a sort of continuous effort for
I
Team
think
UM?
they were just being outplayed a little bit by Team UM. Team UM just seemed to kind of have their number in that game. Everywhere they went, it seemed like they had an answer for anything Team UNF was doing.
Hmm. I think the Vagar into Anivia pick is really interesting. I was wholeheartedly expecting that to be a top lane pick. Um, I think Anivia is a character that, much like Vagar, wants to sit back and scale, and both of them do scale quite well. Um, but Anivia is really, really, really quite favorable into Vagar. So this could be Team UNF throwing fading QQ a little bit of a bone. Obviously, um, rank wise, he's a little bit less immediately impressive than most of the other players in the lobby, but I hope it's not an underestimation by Team UNF. I think this is going to be a tough lane for Jack Frost. We'll see if he makes it look tough, but I don't think it'll be easy. And it looks like this game Team UNF is not going for their signature 4-man, 5-man invade. Both teams will be 5 pointing. Um, fearing the hook from the Thresh, I would imagine. A little bit of banter between the two teams in the chat. 40 Blue Essence team.
It's standing in the mid lane as quite the
Did your
centerpiece to
game
this
just
team.
freeze?
It did. It did.
That's unfortunate. This has happened a couple of times before. We both just have to exit the game and then like join from someone on our friends list.
Okay, I'll do that real quick then. Spectate game. Sorry about that, folks. It looks like there was slight technical difficulties.
Just a minor issue with the League client is what it is. It's a small indie company that can't squash every bug that happens in their game. It's no big deal. I'm really curious if when we load into the match, it's our own load time or if we're forced to wait the load time of all the players as well. Like once again.
I don't know.
I've never timed it out. Now, something that I find a little bit interesting is Dexter Morgan, the Evelyn player, is mastery locked. He hasn't seemed to have played a whole lot of Evelyn. Um, I'm curious what drove him to choose this character. It could be that his pool is not very wide, and this is just a character he's tried once or twice, or I wonder if he has another account that he's played this character on quite a bit more. I think I'll let the gameplay speak for him.
Yeah, hopefully we're
But
able to get
this
off
is
of this loading. Oh, well, it seems like I was not able to load in.
I am experiencing just the same thing. I see a download failed, unable to download spectator data, just the same as the first game.
Hopefully we can get... Alright, there we go. Right back into game. Small 2-minute delay, or 2-minute jump, but we will get right back into it.
At this point in the game, both junglers cleared from the top to the bottom side. Um,
No
we haven't seen
kills.
any kills come out to yet. Or
Pretty neutral game state by the looks of things. Jack Frost with a pretty big push in the mid lane. And a slight advantage going towards this. Oh, it looks like we may be seeing a first blood here, but it looks like the Evelyn prioritized the... Very close, very close. The Evelyn prioritized the Scuttle Crab opposed to killing Mike there. He was able to escape with his life, only having to blow his flash. The Caitlyn did trade flashes trying to get the kill, but just didn't do quite enough damage. Michael was able to escape. Very big trade for
now, I don't know
Veigar.
how much experience Nick has on the Warwick. I think it's a character that's not difficult to play once you've played like one game of him in top lane, but he's very mana hungry, especially early. So I worry a little bit for how well he'll sustain against the Mundo, who he is currently losing trades to, which losing trades to early Mundo is not really what you want to be doing against that character. We do see him trade a little bit back, and it's definitely more favorable, but it costs a lot of mana. On the other side of the map, we see Galaxy on Thresh get his bone plating procced. Leona hits a root, a stun into a root, a pretty solid engage onto Mr. Bear. Amber Dragon takes the
Looks.
time to shoot down Galaxy, does manage to finish him off with the help of Leona's
And
Ignite.
yeah, what we call his Ignite does get the kill there. Um, Picking up first blood for Team UNF.
Now, 5.5 minutes into the game, Drake has spawned, and we see the Veigar for Team UNF use TP mid, obviously getting a little bit of a jump start in the lane prio. Team UNF's bot laners have yet to back, so I don't think we'll be seeing a UNF go for the Drake anytime soon.
One second, I do
Amumu is now taking
just
his first back,
want to see when the
or his second
Anivia. So it looks like the Anivia accidentally flashes, possibly having teleport on the wrong key.
back. That is super unfortunate. I've definitely been there before. Fading QQ, obviously a sub. Probably hasn't played in a custom lobby before and doesn't have their controls set up properly. That I think it's happened to me like twice. It's super unfortunate when it happens, but it shouldn't happen for the rest of the game, fingers crossed. Now we see Mike Beeston top side of the map while Drake is up. I don't know how well that bodes. It looks like Evelyn just cleared his raptors while he was clearing a ward.
Evelyn also looking to be pathing top, possibly targeting a gank on the Warwick. Yep, it does look like they are going for the gank here. Let's see. He is unaware that
One thing I've
she's there. But sorry, the one thing.
sorry. The one thing I noticed is that I think Team does a really good job of helping their jungler get the scuttle. Like every time the jungler goes for a scuttle, there's a teammate like hovering her or hovering him, whoever, hovering at Dexter Morgan to help get it. Um, it's just something I've noticed consistently across their games, and I think it's really nice to see. Like already we see Evelyn with like a small CS lead, and I think it's in part due to how well her team bodyguards are for it.
Warwick does almost kill
Now we
Mundo there, forcing the ult out. Looks like their Team UNF not going to be able to contest this Void Grubs, possibly unaware that it's going on. But it is too late now, as she does get there behind. Well, they do pick up the kill and get the third, so not too bad, but team and big fight in the bot lane. Looks like the Misfortune did ult the wave to prevent the dive.
going for a very cheeky play, hitting the bullet rain, barely dodging the hook from Galaxy. Noikawa just barely misses his own. Luckily, Amumu is there, and
They pick
Team
up the kill.
UNF does pick up once again the feats of warfare. This game is looking very much like their first game. Already about 1,000 gold lead. Their wave states aren't the best, but they are picking up the first Drake very, very solidly, confidently, uncontestedly.
That they do. Building up a very slight gold lead, about 1,000 gold. Nothing too major, as the kills are pretty spread out, with the Veigar, Misfortune, and Leona all having one.
Now the game returns to a neutral state. Both teams are waiting for the Rift Herald to spawn on the top side of the map. We see Nick on Warwick roaming down possibly to mid lane to look for a kill on Fading QQ. Jack Frost does not manage to hit his cage, but the Warwick ult comes out. We see a flash forced from the mid laner of Team UM.
And big
And
ult
he
there
does manage to
from
survive.
Amber Dragon, forcing the flash and barrier. Full sums gone from their bot lane, and then trading away.
Oikawa does get hooked by the Thresh, but manages to walk away with his life.
Yumumu's now walking down with ult and flash ready. Looks like
An
he will
absolutely
flash.
fantastic hook by Oikawa, hits the Thresh, and manages to turn it into a kill. Really good hook by Oikawa there.
Very good.
And now we see Dexter Morgan on Evelyn lurking around Nick in the top lane. I don't think he knows she's there. I think he's going to pay the price for it right about now.
He does blow flash, but unfortunately, he does fall. Both Mundo and Evelyn use ults there. Mundo ult, a little bit unnecessary, but I guess it does keep him healthy in case there are anyone coming up to intervene. Oh, and with the chain CC, the Caitlyn does fall as well, trying to defend her tower.
Mr. Bear killed in between the tier 1 and tier 2 in bot lane. It is not a good feeling to get sectioned off the tower so solidly. And it's just gotta suck for morale. I think Rift Herald should be spawning. What does it spawn at? 14 minutes now?
It will spawn in 2.5 minutes. So yes, 15.
Okay. Then is Drake up sooner than Rift Herald? I'm sorry. What do you press to see the timers on the map?
You
I'm
press
not
I,
as familiar with the spectator controls.
and then the objective timers.
Huh, thank you so much.
Oh, it looks like the Evelyn may have been picked out, and the Warwick does follow with his Q. He was able to get that solo kill up on the Evelyn. The Veigar is chasing after the Sinivia, but may have to give it up due to Mundo intervention. And he does, returning back to lane. Veigar is up to
In bot
89
lane,
stacks on his passive as well, very quickly snowballing that free AP.
Amber Dragon manages to squeeze out a kill with her bullet time, just gaining an even further lead over Mr. Bear. Looks like I will not be seeing good enough Caitlyn gameplay to trump Amber Dragon this game.
No, you may be waiting quite some time if you want something like that.
All lanes from Team UNF in a very strong winning situations. Rift Herald in a minute. Chemtech Drake spawning in even less than a minute, about 30 seconds now.
Yeah, I am interested to see
could...
which objective Team UNF will be going for. If they choose to go for the second dragon, or if they just focus the Rift Herald.
I think that I see Team UNF put a lot of emphasis on Drakes, which I think is the right call. Even if it is a Chemtech Drake, just getting closer to Soul is incredibly important. I'm curious if Team UM is going to contest the Drake, or if they're just going to accept it and try to trade the Herald. It looks like, based off of where all their players are standing, that they're going to be trying to fight for Drake, which I don't think is a really good idea, if I'm being honest. I think the ults from Team UNF are a little bit stronger in a team fight. I think the players of Team UNF are stronger at this moment, and it looks like the jungler gave up. She never even, the Evelyn never showed up to the Drake fight, and the laners just wasted a bit of their time.
Seemed to be quite a bit of a waste of time, considering they do just return down and go to the Rift Herald now.
Now the members of Team UNF on Rift Herald. They have 4 people on the top side of the map. Leona is looking for a little something with Mundo. He's popped Ghost, so he won't be getting caught out. And Evelyn is lurking near the rifts, hoping for something. I don't think she's going to get it. She does have a higher tier smite than the Amumu, but Team UNF is just so good at sectioning her away from the Rift Herald that she's not able to do anything, even on an invisible character with an untargetable dash. She
And
cannot make it to the Rift Herald.
Amber Dragon is able to
Sorry.
clear the wave and prevent the dive bot lane in the cross map.
Galaxy gets caught out on Thresh by Amber Dragon's Bullet Crane. It looks like Oikawa will just calmly finish it off, or set it off with an ult.
Yep,
And
and then
Jack
Jack
Frost
Frost ults to
takes
execute.
the kill with his own ult.
Uh-oh, will the Evelyn get a pick here on Jack Frost, or will he be able to escape
It
with
looks
his
like he was
life?
a little caught out of off guard.
Does look like
Just
he
barely
got...
does not manage to escape with his life. Might be some flashes for the Evelyn, does not manage to hit her, but finds the Anivia instead. It looks like the kill will be going to Amber Dragon. She is so ahead, just performing amazingly on the ADC role. The top tier one did fall to the Mundo, which, you know, it's one of the things that Mundo excels at, is taking turrets. I don't blame it at all. I don't blame it at all for losing that turret, but it is absolutely a shame. Team UNF does already have triumphant boots, so it's not a lasting failure.
No, luckily they were able to secure the 2 dragons and the Rift Herald to confirm their feats of strength, so that tower did not cause too much trouble for them. Looks like Michael is still holding on to that Rift Herald, kind of choosing where he wants to place it. And we do have an engage coming in on this bot lane. They do kill the Thresh, but the Evelyn is here trying to get the pick onto Misfortune, and she does get the execute with her ultimate, getting the shutdown.
We do see Misfortune use both her flash and her barrier, but it's just not enough. Now, Mike Beestum is coming in with the cleanup with Oikawa. Really a fantastic setup by the support of Team UNF, and Mike Beestum is doing a great job of cleaning up. I don't know if he's strong enough to beat this Mundo, especially
But
since the
he
Mundo
may
still
not
has
have
ult,
to
and we
be.
get to
The
see it
Warwick
used.
is able to get there in time, popping his ult. With the chain CC, it does look like they will be able to kill the Mundo. And then the Warwick...
Absolutely perfectly played by Mike Beeston there, tanking exactly the right amount of tower shots, holding the Mundo long enough for Nick to show up and finish him off. That was a really great play by Team UNF, and I
It
also
was.
appreciate the Rift Herald being used in the bot lane here.
Yep. And then the solo kill from Jack Frost in the mid lane, once again, just showing uh, there are levels to the mid lane.
Now, despite it all, there's only about a 2.5k gold lead for Team UNF here. I am honestly surprised. I'd expect it to be a lot more. They're playing like it's a lot more, and it looks like it's a lot more. But they're really doing so much with what they have.
Yeah, Team UNF definitely has a much stronger comp with the CC. I think Team UNF just needs to keep playing these heavily synergistic kind of crowd control comps. It seems to really fit their playstyle.
I think the first time I saw them play something like this, it was a bit of a disaster. They could just never get off the combo that they were trying to get. But I think the practice has really paid off. Just every single time they've been running these comps, it's been looking really nice. They are starting the Drake, and Evelyn is on the opposite side of the map, so this will be yet another Drake gifted to Team UNF, no contest. Now, we'll have to see if Nick is in any trouble. I don't believe the opposing team is really looking for him, and I don't know how easy it would be to do a little tower dive on a Warwick, but
So
we
it is
might see him in trouble here.
it's definitely an interesting choice choosing to fight this. He was sitting on just about 2,000 gold, having not backed, so he definitely had quite a bit ready for him on his base.
I think the plan might have been that he distracts the Evelyn long enough for his team to take Otacon, which is exactly what they're doing right now. Once again, another objective completely uncontested. I don't think that Team Miami even knows that they're on it right now. Uh,
No, it
I
doesn't
don't
seem
think
so.
it'd be too late because only with the Leona assisting him, Mike Beeston clears it pretty slow. It's just barely in the nick of time, and Evelyn is cut down. Oikawa just performs amazingly on the Leona. You can really see why it was banned the first two games. I don't see why it wasn't banned the third, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it seems like those 4 bans towards Michael just weren't enough. They may have needed to use all 5 on him. Looks like Vagar will get the local gold for that mid tower falling. They do need to watch out. They are losing the war of attrition with these towers falling all around the map. Both the tier 1 and tier 2 gone from top lane, and all tier 1s on the map now gone for the Team UNF.
Now, I know you said you dabble in mid lane a little bit earlier, which is a bit more than I can say. Does Vagar normally build Shurelya's? I
Uh,
think that's
I
an interesting item to see
I can't
in
say
his inventory.
I've personally built Shurelya's. No, I can't say that, but I can definitely see how it could be useful on this team. Trying to get just a little bit closer um, to that Anivia, especially with her wall. It can be quite a pain sometimes.
I just thought it was an interesting item to see. Speaking of Anivia, we see Warwick jumping on her, getting the jump on her, um, pressing R on her, and I don't think we're gonna see anything short of him finishing her off, solo bolo style.
Yeah, he was able to secure that. It did seem close for a moment there before he used his ult.
Now we
And
do see Team UNF engage on the support of Team Miami a minute and a half before Baron. It won't matter for that fight as much, but I do think we're going to see Team UNF take this Baron, maybe take Soul, and end the game. I don't think this game is going to be going too far past 25 minutes if UNF knows what they're doing.
it is very
Now it looks like
interesting
a...
considering the
Sorry.
large kill discrepancy. There is only a 1,000 gold difference between the two teams.
I think where that goal difference comes in is um, Team is doing a really great job of pushing lanes. Tier 2 taken in the top lane, Tier 1 in both the mid and the bot lane. I think the gold difference, obviously, Team UNF just now managed to take the first tower in top lane. So I think the gold difference is being made up pretty strongly by whoever's pushing these lanes and taking towers. Additionally, Team is keeping competitive with the CS of Team UNF. Honestly, I think it's impressive how well is CSing comparatively, with how often they're dying.
Yeah, they
Or
seem
it's
to always have a wave ready for them that keeps them in the game.
also possible that Team UNF is getting a little cocky with this game and maybe slipping up a little bit, but I think it's fair for them to be a little cocky with this game. I don't know. I think if they let the game go on too long, it could start to be a struggle, but their comp is just so well put together that I think they're allowed to have as much confidence as they do this game.
Yeah, they do need to
We
watch
do
out. The
see
Evelyn is on the flank here. Does look like they are aware of it. Yep. Misfortune autoing her down, popping that Banshees off of her.
now while this scuffle in mid lane is going down, Mike Beeston is comfortably taking Drake. And this is Cloud Soul for Team UNF.
The Cloud Soul buff should be pretty big on this team comp, giving the speed bonus.
Misfortune rips ult almost looks like it's just for the speed bonus. It doesn't really do very much.
And Anivia does
We also
flash
see
there.
Leona pop her ults, but unfortunately, I think Anivia flashed the wrong way. If she'd flashed over the wall towards a red buff, I would have felt a little more comfortable with that. She just kind of signed her own death warrant.
Yeah, she also then
And we
walled
do see
herself into the Dragon Pit with Warwick, which isn't always the best idea. And Team UNF does decide to start the Baron, with Nick running to seemingly distract them.
it looks like Team UNF will be contested on this Baron. Evelyn walks up, maybe will be getting a kill on Oikawa, does not manage it. Despite how low the Leona is, she will not be going down.
And Warwick was
And
able to
Mundo
get,
TP's in, but does not manage to get the kill.
and that is an ace for Team UNF. Sorry.
I think this will be. No, you're fine. I think this will just be a push down mid straight to ending the game for Team UNF. This does not look. This does not look close.
You know,
Despite how close it really is, this does not look close.
yeah, the statistics make the game seem a lot closer with, I mean, it is up to a 5,000 gold lead away from the 1,000 it had been hovering at for most of the game. But it looks like it's only drifting further and further away now.
Now, this is smart, I think, from Team UNF. Instead of just 5-manning mid, they were splitting their members across 3 lanes. I think the team that splits better wins generally. I think it's why Team UM had such a close gold lead, so many towers taken. But they reconvene in the mid lane for a cute little fight. Managed to get a pick on the Anivia. Looks like another pick on Caitlyn. Maybe a
And the
pick
Thresh
followed up
falls.
on Thresh.
It does seem
Looks like
this
they're
will
gonna
be the end of the
go
game
straight
here.
for Mundo, and this is absolutely the end of the game here. Dexter Morgan on the Evelyn trying desperately to do anything. Amber Dragon running under 2 towers to chase him down. I'm really curious if we're gonna see anyone dive into the fountain for this Evelyn. It looks like they really want to do it, but so chivalrous, so polite. Team UNF just calmly finishes the game. And that was a wonderful 3-game series there played by Team UNF. I had a great time casting it. It was wonderful casting with you, Jared. It's my understanding that you'll be talking to one of the players in an interview after the game. Is that correct?
I will, yeah, I will be interviewing Nick here. Let me find where I can find him.
Well, I will be taking my leave. It's been a pleasure being here today. Thank you so much for having me, and good luck in your interview.
Thank you, thank
Have a
you.
good night.
It has been great having you. Have a good one. Alright, folks, now I'm just looking to get Nick, and we will have our interview with him.
Hey
Well,
man.
congratulations, Nick. How was
Thanks.
how were the games? How'd you feel
You
during the games
know,
today?
the first was obviously very good. Um, I got to whip out the Kennan, which we've seen pretty good results with in the past. But I really loved they banned out our Oriana, which we usually go, but that left open the Galio, which is Tyler's favorite. So it just really, and then Caitlyn got to play Seraphine too. That first game was so fun.
Yeah, it looked like you
We all got
guys
to play.
yeah, you guys were going pretty crazy with the wombo combos there.
Yeah.
Multiple fights of Seraphine ult into Kinnan ult into Galio ult, just kind of frying them. Um,
Yeah.
as well as a couple solo kills I saw. Um, you got a good couple kills on the Kinnan as well as the Warwick. How did you and your team prepare for today's matchup? Any specific kind of ideas going into it?
So, yeah, we had played against them in Battle for Florida um, previously, but they completely switched up their roster besides like two people. So it was kind of hard to tell like what they were playing. I think Verilax, the top laner, was from their last set that we played against them and like their support. But we were just basically like, since our team's still pretty new, we were just like, we always during scrims and stuff, we just try to iron out like who's good at what and what we can like what kind of combination of people can we get to like achieve what we want to, like Michael's kind of like the mastermind a little bit of like our team comps and like what the objective is, and we kind of are like trying to figure out, like I'm an ex mid lane player, so like characters like Kennen are gonna be stuff that we're trying to look for. um
Okay.
so yeah, I guess we're just like trying to figure out what works and what doesn't.
Well, I
So
know
that's what we've been
the
trying to do.
second game wasn't quite as hot for you guys, but I do have to ask about that tower dive play where you did end up killing the Irelia. Any comment on that?
Yeah, I mean, I was. It's a really hard matchup. Nar Aurelia. I kind of knew that he was gonna play Aurelia, and I almost actually played Trundle that game. But yeah, it's just any kill on Nar is a fun one for me. I love Nar. Um, yeah, it was just it was the one I I don't really remember uh the tower dive um too well, but I'm sure it was great.
Okay. Um,
But yeah,
and what were some of the key factors you would say that contributed to the team's win today?
I think our communication's gotten like a lot better over time. I think it was really poor at the beginning with like the new kind of squad that we put together. Um, I think the communication came in a lot. I think we're finally starting to figure out like what people really want to play. Like that first team and the third comp that we had is kind of like stuff that people just really wanted to play, and we kind of figured out how to like put it together, I guess. So that was kind of what like led us to that kind of conclusion.
Okay. And then, so what kind of adjustments did you guys make considering you won the first game, lost that second one, but then dominantly won that third one?
Yeah, so whenever we play red side, we try to go for the wombo, which any kind of combination that we can. They from the beginning they were banning the Oriana, which is kind of like the centerpiece of wombo for us. So we had to really figure out what Tyler, our mid laner, was gonna play. So we had to think about like what works with Galio and playing like a more like, and then me going Kennen for that like AP damage, and then we decided to go with Seraphine APC um, to like really just hammer the damage because usually it's Misfortune, but we decided to ban out the Misfortune and go for a little more CC. Um, and then the second game, yeah, we just didn't really hit home on the adjusting. We're still trying to figure out our blue side, like what we want to do. I'm very new to NAR and stuff, so still learning about that. And then the third game, we just all picked like characters that we knew we could play well, and we tried to go for the wombo, um, or as much as we could, and that was it's pretty successful, which was very exciting to see. It was my first time playing Warwick with everyone. I just mentioned it to Michael the other day that I liked Warwick, and he was like, "Just get on it." And I was like, "Okay."
Well, seems like it worked out well. You did very well into the lane on Mundo, and then later in, you hit a flank and killed the Caitlyn during that Baron fight to really secure the game.
Did you guys see me follow the Evelyn over the wall with the
Yep,
Warwick
I,
Q?
I did.
Dude, that was so cool.
It was a very
That
good
was so
use of
awesome.
the Q, just completely
Yeah, that
negating her flash.
I know that was so cool. I was like exactly what I wanted to do too. I always see clips of it, and getting to do it was so awesome.
Nice. And then,
Yeah.
how do you and the team plan on building on this win moving forward into the next set of scrims?
So, like I said, we are a new team. We had played against Miami before, so we kind of knew what we were doing. But going forward, I think we're gonna take what we played into account because we played a couple new champs today, which is what Scrims is for, to try new stuff out. I think we're just gonna try to hammer home that communication we had today, and um, just try to maybe work in some of those characters like Vigar or Warwick or anything that really we thought worked, like maybe playing more Seraphine APC because Caitlyn is a support player, and just kind of like building with what we got, and seeing what works. We were all very happy with today because we had lost previously to them, so it was like our little get back, which was exciting.
Perfect. Well, I'm sure it was very satisfying not only winning the series 2-1, but absolutely stomping them in the two games that you did win. Well, thank you, Nick. It has been great having you. Congrats on the wins.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Thanks for casting. I was listening. You guys were having a good time.
Perfect. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right.
Yeah, have a good night, man.
You as well. All right, everybody. Well, that was the games. Looks like a bright future ahead for Team UNF.